7 p.m. programming is supposed to be educational.com, maybe a little dramatic. But one strange interview clip from Lorne Greene revealed something nobody ever expected. His voice was tired, wounded, and shaking as he said, "I was betrayed. So deeply that even now, when I lie down at night, it feels like a knife is still buried in my back." The man speaking wasn't the wise, comforting father from Bonanza. It was Lorne Greene, stripped of his calm exterior, exposing the bitterness he carried to the end of his life. Bitterness toward people who were once close to him, people he trusted, people who stood beside him, people he never publicly confronted. Some colleagues blocked his biggest opportunities. Others spread rumors behind his back. Some used his reputation to boost their own careers, even if it meant damaging his. These were the names Lorne Greene never forgot. The ones who left marks on him deeper than any script ever revealed. The first name tied to his resentment was John Wayne, not because of personal hatred, but because of a storm the media dragged them into. In the 1960s, Hollywood was changing. The film world, dominated by Wayne, suddenly faced competition from television. Bonanza was exploding in popularity, and Lorne Greene had become the face of the new era. When Wayne told reporters that TV westerns were diluting classic films, the media twisted it into a direct insult toward Greene. Headlines claimed Wayne criticized Bonanza. Greene read those articles in his dressing room and slammed the newspaper onto the table. He wasn't angry at Wayne. He was angry that the press had trapped him in a rivalry he never asked for. The more people talked, the worse it got. Reporters imagined confrontations. Fans demanded Greene respond. For years he lived in the shadow of a rivalry created entirely by Hollywood hype. He never hated Wayne, but the weight of that comparison exhausted him. Then came Clint Eastwood, who didn't attack Greene at all, but still changed everything. Eastwood's gritty, silent, ruthless screen presence reshaped the Western genre. When the good, the bad, and the ugly hit theaters, the entire country shifted its attention. Critics declared Eastwood the future of the Western. At the same time, they labeled Greene old-fashioned. It wasn't personal, but Greene felt it deeply. The world he had built, the style he mastered, the hero he embodied, suddenly, all of it felt outdated. He was watching the era he belonged to slip away, replaced by a colder, darker frontier within Bonanza itself. Greene faced a very different kind of challenge. Michael Landon, who played Little Joe, grew into a talented writer and director. By the mid-1960s, the young actor began steering the show creatively. Script meetings grew tense. Landon wanted change. Greene wanted consistency. There were no fights, no shouting, but the quiet tension weighed heavily on Greene. He loved Landon deeply, almost like a real son, yet he felt the show slowly shifting out of his hands. By 1972, Landon was practically shaping the entire direction of Bonanza. Greene never resented his success, but he quietly mourned the loss of the steady, fatherly balance the show once had. There was also the disruption brought by Guy Williams. The actor, famous for Zorro, when he joined the set, paparazzi followed him everywhere because of earlier controversies. Greene hated chaos, and Williams unintentionally brought plenty of it. The retakes, the debates over scenes. The media attention. Greene maintained his calm exterior, but the tension between them was obvious. Crew members said the set felt divided, like two different energies colliding in one studio. When Williams left, Greene finally felt the air clear. Parnell Roberts was another complicated presence in Greene's life. Roberts, who played Adam Cartwright, was intelligent, principled, and outspoken. He openly criticized the show for being unrealistic, sentimental, and morally exaggerated. The media loved these comments, and every time Roberts gave an interview, Greene found himself cleaning up the mess. Roberts didn't try to hurt Greene. He believed in artistic integrity, but his constant critiques, especially of the father figure, stung Greene more than he ever admitted. The attacks weren't aimed directly at him, but they cut him all the same. Don Blocker, the beloved Hoss Cartwright, was never malicious, but he often tested Greene's patience. Blocker loved joking around, and sometimes his timing interrupted intense scenes. Greene took his craft seriously, and while he adored Blocker, the constant playful energy sometimes made long workdays even harder for him. It wasn't anger, just quiet frustration from a man trying to hold everything together. At the center of all this was David Dortort, the show's producer. Dortort was brilliant but demanding, constantly rewriting scripts, pushing actors, and tightening control. Whenever conflicts arose between writers, actors, or executives, Greene became the mediator. He wasn't paid to be the emotional glue of the production, but that's exactly what he became. He carried the weight of every disagreement, every rumor, every expectation. Dortort relied on him to keep things stable, even when the pressure became overwhelming. Through all of these challenges, Greene stayed composed. He remained the gentle patriarch of the Ponderosa, the steady voice millions tuned in to watch every week. But behind that calm exterior lived a man who felt overshadowed, pressured, misunderstood, and sometimes betrayed by the very world he helped build. And perhaps that is why, in that rare and fragile interview clip, he whispered with a trembling voice, "I was betrayed." His pain wasn't born from a single moment or a single person. It came from years of silent battles, professional tensions, media fabrications, and emotional burdens the audience never saw. The world saw Lorne Greene as a symbol of strength, but the truth he carried was far more human, far more complicated, and far more tragic than anyone ever imagined.